Hello everybody, and welcome to my first supplementary video. The thing is with this, as regular people who watch the channel will know, I'm having a bit of trouble getting the Sunday Q&A out because it's too long. It's going on 30-40 minutes. No one wants that much of me on a Sunday. No one wants that much of me any day, really. And also, a lot of the time, what I end up doing in the Sunday Q&A is cover responses to the videos I've done this week. Now, the problem with this is, if somebody then watches one of these videos in 3 months' time, they're not going to clock the Sunday Q&A, and as a result of which, they're not going to see your responses, so they're not going to benefit. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to take the videos out, take all your responses, write them down, and then what I can do is when I launch it, I can do a link from the previous video. So say I do one on, as today's is, getting started on the CX, getting started in courier driving without the CX. Then the next video at the end of that one will be, watch next your responses to that video, so they will benefit. There is also the added advantage that I don't have to wait for the upload. You guys get to watch my videos twice. I get twice as much advertising revenue. More cheddar cheese for Pete. Never lied to you. Never lied to you. So I still think the first one stands. I'm altruistic, me. So getting started on the CX, getting started in the courier business. If you haven't got the CX. Now, CX is a few quid. So if you've got the van, you're ready to go, you're rolling, you haven't got the money, other ways you can do it. Firstly, I think Jeremy Hawke here, a bit of warning before we start. He says, we are not on the CX, although we've been doing this for 30 years. The CX is a good tool, but I would say that if you can't afford the Courier Exchange, then you probably won't have enough funds to run a business. The CX would be a fraction of all your other business costs. Now, this is very wise advice. The biggest problem you're going to face with the courier driving thing is waiting to get paid. You're going to do the job. You're going to send the invoice out. Some people want 30 days. Some people want 60 days. Some people want 90 days. And then it's 30 days, but it's 30 days from end of the month. So if you do the job on the 1st, they want 30 days from the 30th or the 31st. That's 2 months. And then sometimes it gets to the end. Some people pay quickly. Some people pay. I've had people pay same day. I've had people pay. We got a firm out there. They paid it at the end of the next week. Every time, end of the next week. Rolling, no problem. But it can be quite a barrier to entry in the fact that you probably need at least 2 months worth of money for your bills, for your petrol, for your diesel, for your household bills, for your kids' school shoes, all that kind of stuff behind you. So if you can't afford the dough and the CX, and when you break it down, so it's what, £1,000 now, £1,200 a year, something like that, it's 25 quid, it's a £5 a day. If you can't stretch the £5 a day, you have to think twice. Having said that, that's not definitely a no-no. There are plenty of ones out. Trevor Burns, he says, great vid, no BS, don't know what it stands for. He says, anybody using same-day courier network? Well, there's a few out there. Fernando Moria says, he said, I would suggest a few options. UShip, delivery quote compare. These are things that I haven't used. I'm just using other people, so I'm not vouching for these, but these are things that other people that watch the channel have said about. Courier Expert, heard of that one. Same day courier network. Here are some of the more affordable options. He said, if you don't have the money at the CX, he said, when he began as a courier, I used them heavily with good results and good earnings. But be aware you have to be there bidding all of the time to ensure you don't miss anything. So you're kind of on this all the time. He said, be prepared to tramp and you'll be okay. So it's a matter of, you've got to be on it all the time. You might have to be prepared to do a bit more handball. You might be prepared to go the extra mile. You might have to be prepared to go, well, I'm going to have to take that job to Aberdeen. It might take me 2 days to get home. But if you start that way, and then when you start to build up a bit of dough and, get a bit of momentum going, then maybe think about the CX. Godzilla's also said, he said, I think you've done one of these before, but another one won't hurt. Try not to repeat myself, my friend. He said last time it was covering scrap rubbish removal. I did one on taking rubbish away from you. That might be that one. But he said, there's a source of income, flyering the local estates. Get the cards printed, get the things printed. I said, if you can get your end user customers in early, then you're laughing. If you've got the time, go around with the local industrial estates, talk to your brother, talk to your uncle, put yourself on Facebook, Man and Van, put yourself on Gumtree, Man and Van, take anything you can. Saturday, Sunday, small removals, that kind of thing where you moving, 1 bedroom flats, anything you can do in the begin with to get a bit get scratched. The harder you work, the longer you go, the more dough you get, the easier it will become in the long run. He said cards in local shop windows with a bar, next to barbecue. Get your cards to local courier companies. That's another one. There's nothing stopping you contacting your Hermes, your local Hermes, or your local sort of any courier companies. You can Google them. Courier companies near me. Ring them up. Go around there. They'll take you as a subcontractor. Take your card, go, yeah, we can use you. And you'll get the phone calls and it'll get you started. So that's something else. Steve Campbell says, Shipley is free. I used Shipley when I was doing the removals. I find it kind of painful that the jobs go cheap, but they still go. It's still money, It's still a bit odd on Shipley. The money, as he said, the money's not great. He said, but if you quote the money you want on the job, then you're not losing out. And this is another one I've always said. Quote them the money you're prepared to do the job for. Don't quote them the money that they want, because you just end up working for nothing. As Dave the Chris says, there's plenty of work out there for those that work for nothing. And the other one is Lee Westcott. He says, get your van sign written professionally. Big, go bold, sign writing all over it. And if you're running in the local area, there's a good chance people will see that van and go, I need him. Sign written is a bit of a tricky one on the CX. It's not an absolute barrier, but it's not a helpful one. But there's some, so just to basically, you've got your Shipley, you've got your sign writing, you've got your Facebook, you've got your Gumtree, you've got your U-Ship, delivery, compare quote, Courier Expert, same day courier network. There are ways around it. I still think pound for pound, I'm with Jeremy Hawk on this one. Pound for pound, the CX is the easiest, most efficient. It's still the way forward. There's no one out there competing with them right now. So, but if the dough is just too much, there's plenty others to be trying there. Whatever you do, I hope it works out for you, and I hope you take care, take money.